Hey, welcome to History and Coffee. I was going to do a quick video on something interesting here. I have in my hand a very long, very loud stick. And this is a very important firearm in American history. This is a beautiful example of a French Fusil de chasse smoothbore flintlock musket. A Fusil de chasse, which I'm pronouncing wrong, it translates to gun of the hunt. And this was the most numerous firearm in the entire colonial period up into the Revolution, American history. You're talking the French and Indian War, the American Revolution, up into the early 1800s. This was the gun that won the West when the West was, Kentucky, Missouri, etc. Everybody had one of these. Basically, think of it as the your daddy's shotgun of the 18th and 19th century. Now, these were first produced in the 1730s by the Tula Arms Company in Tula, France. I can't remember if it's the name of the town or the name of the arsenal. I think it's the name of the arsenal. Whatever. I know you come here for the big facts, right? You're going to get them. And it turned out to be an extremely popular design, copied all over the world, and just, these were sort of the first guns that were really just kind of made to be cheap, sort of mass produced. When we think about the sort of the frontier period of America, we think about, Daniel Boone and his Kentucky rifle, the Pennsylvania rifle and things like that. But those were very, very expensive. They were, and they were not as versatile as this. Now, you could, of course, down game at a further range with one of those, but you were just relegated to firing a patched bullet with those. What's cool about these is because of the smooth bore, they basically act as either a like you'd think with a rifle where they fire a single projectile, or a shotgun, or a combination of both. Basically, even sort of whatever you can stuff down the barrel. Lewis and Clark actually carried a bunch of these on their trip to survey the West and try to find the the passage and all that. And there's accounts of them running out of lead and stuffing rocks down the barrel of these in order to feed themselves. So another notable example would be Rogers Rangers. His unit, sort of the precursor to the current Rangers and the Green Berets and things like that. They can all trace their lineage back to that in the 7 Years' War, the French and Indian War. They preferred these over the Brown Bess muskets that were British military issue at the time because they were handier, a little bit quicker to load, a few other things. This was the main trade gun of the French, and the British copy was their matrix. So the vast majority of Native Americans also they carried these, preferred these. Pretty much any unit of colonial militia you would have seen these, far outnumbering the Brown Besses or the Charlevilles or any of the other revolutionary arms. And like I said, well up into the the early 1800s, and then you start to see percussion replacing. This is a flintlock, so you got a little piece of flint, goes in here, cock this thing back. It's actually called a cock. Hits this hard piece here called a frizzen, which drops a spark into this little pan here where you put your powder. The flame goes in through the touch hole, ignites powder that you have loaded down the muzzle, along with whatever sort of projectile you feel like launching out of it. And the popular combat load for these was the first sort of buck and ball loads. They would stuff a 62 caliber round ball down here with usually 4 or 5 pieces of, I think it's single-aught buckshot, and then a little 2F powder, and that did the trick. But yeah, it's a fascinating weapon. well, these things aren't even considered weapons anymore. And this is a beautiful example of it, so I just wanted to show it off a little bit. The iron fittings, thumb rest, but beautiful lock work. This is also made, a lot of these, this of course is a reproduction, but it's I don't know what the word, like artisan made reproduction. The gentleman that made this, actually out of Missouri, he made it all hand fitted, handmade in the tradition like it would have been made in the 18th century. So that's and it's beautifully done. You know, even the ramrod fittings and things like that. But hopefully down the road, I'll be able to get some footage of me touching this thing off. So if you'd like that, you know, comment, and if you subscribed for just for the cat videos, I'm sorry that I'm forcing you to learn as well as look at my cat. Yep. So that's it. The 62 caliber smooth bore flintlock Fusil de chasse. Thanks.